Oh man, are we here? I am here. I am here. I am present. Remember the teacher used to call your name Steve Corbin here. Present, baby. I am present. Man, nobody talks about the pain of when you did everything right and life still says no. That's some painful stuff right there, man. And I'm not talking about like you just trying. I'm talking about trying, like giving it your absolute best, and life is still like, no, no, my boy. And the reason I started thinking about this is because I found one of my candles that I started. I started a candle company like 2 years ago, the Corbin Candle Club. Man, I did everything I could do, y'all. I hired a business coach. I hired two business coach. I hired a regular business coach. Then I hired a specific candle business coach. Like he specialized in candle businesses. And they both looked at my website. They looked at my product and everything. And they both was like, dude, I don't understand why it's not working. They told me this. I hired somebody to audit my site, make sure the flow was well and everything. He's like, yeah, I don't know why it's not converting. I'm telling you, man, it was obvious that God was like, no, this is not the way I want you to go. And I don't know if you believe in God or whatever. I believe in God, so I'm gonna talk about my journey. Okay. Um, it was just an obvious redirection, man, and it just hurt so bad, bro. Anyway, every time I come across one of my candles, because now I'm stuck with like 80 candles. They just was not, it's not like I didn't sell any candles, but I sold a lot of candles. But that company didn't make the amount of money it was supposed to make. That's all I'm saying. And nobody could understand why it wasn't converting and why it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know, man. But that pain right there, mm, it got to the point where I wasn't even questioning the candle business no more. I was questioning me. Like, man, am I good enough? Am I good enough, or am I just being delusional? Because you can hit a certain point where you're like, man, I think I might just be delusional. And I hit that point. That's why I hired the business coach. I hired outside people to look at the business, and they was even like, unless we all was delusional. Nah, man, you just got to chalk it up. Sometimes it's like God don't want you to go that way. And that's a lesson in itself, man. You got to know when to pivot, right? You got to know when something is not worth fighting for anymore, when the juice is not worth the squeeze. You don't want to be wasting your time on a constant uphill battle. Not giving up, but I've done everything I can do. It's time for me to move on. That's a lesson in itself, and that's a skill because you don't want to stop too early either. And sometimes I think about that too. It's like, all right, am I stopping right now because I have nothing left to give? Or am I stopping because I'm giving up? Because if you give up too early, sometimes you might just be too early. Sometimes you might just be ahead of your time. And that could have been the issue too. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But the thing about being too early is you don't know how early you are. Your time might come in a month, might come in 3 months, it might come in 3 years. But you got to be willing to stick it out or pivot. But the thing is, no matter which way you choose to go, you got to understand you are spending your time on that thing, on that situation, sometimes on that relationship. You will never get your time back. So it's like, is this worth my time? And if the answer is yes, man, keep pushing. But if you ever get to a point where it's like, man, this is not worth my time, and that's for anything, a business, a relationship, a friendship, it's like, man, if it's not worth your time, stop. Because you don't get that back, boy. That's a finite resource right there. They don't make no more of your time. You got to know when to pivot. You got to know well, how that song go. You got to know when to hold them. Sing it with me. Know when to fold them. Let's go. Know when to walk away. Hey, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you what? When you're sitting at the table. And I don't know the rest. So we gon' end this song right here. Yeah. Shout out to Willie Nelson, man. Shout out to Willie Nelson. I think that's Willie Nelson. Is that Willie Nelson? Let me make sure. I'm out here shouting people out. Oh my gosh, that's Kenny Rogers. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Kenny Rogers. I am so sorry. I don't know why I thought that was Willie Nelson. Dude, Willie Nelson is 92 years old? Dude, see, and this is a side note, but I have a theory about people who smoke a lot of weed. People who smoke a lot of weed live forever. I'm saying, think about everybody you know who smokes a ton of weed. Look at Snoop Dogg. Snoop got to be at least 103. Let's see, Snoop Dogg age. Oh, he's 54. I was close. My bad, Snoop. Anyway, I don't know why I thought that was Willie Nelson. Side note, I met Willie Nelson one time. He was super cool. I met him in the elevator. I was working at this hotel in I was working at a casino hotel in Louisiana, and he walked on the elevator. I think he was performing that night. He walked on the elevator with his security. And he was like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey," and that was the beginning and the end of our friendship. Cool guy. Hey, Willie Nelson walked on there smelling like ganja, boy. Listen, he smelled like that boy smelled like a dispensary. You hear me? I was like, oh yeah, he was getting zooted in his hotel room. That boy came on the elevator smelling like that marijuana, that devil's lettuce, like my Hispanic friend's mom say. Yeah, he's smoking that devil's lettuce. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, you got to know when to pivot, man. You got to know when to pivot. And also, I think it's good to understand that sometimes you didn't necessarily fail, you just didn't win in that way. Hell, sometimes the win is who you became while doing that thing. Okay, while in that relationship, while in that friendship, while doing whatever it was you felt like you failed at. Sometimes the win is who you became, man. Like the candle company, man. You could say the candle company failed, but also I learned a ton about business building that candle company. I learned a lot. And that's knowledge no one can ever take from me. So, can you look at the company like a failure? Yeah, but also you can look at it like a huge lesson. And maybe that was just like business school that I had to go through. Because a lot of the stuff I learned in the candle company, I'm applying to this now. How they say that? A win is a win, bro. A win is a win. And you also don't want to sit and ponder why something didn't work out for too long. You got a life to live. It could be a million different reasons why something didn't work out. Sometimes it could be your energy off. Sometimes your intentions could be off. You was doing something for the wrong reasons. You was only doing this thing to prove something to somebody or to get back at somebody. And that's why it didn't work out. Your energy was messed up. The type of energy you put in something that determines a lot as well. I believe. I mean, that's what I believe anyway. Y'all know this show is literally called "Hear Me Out." I'm just speaking my thoughts, but I really do believe the energy that you put behind something is gonna determine the outcome. And you can't fake energy. And if we being really real, sometimes we just not good enough, bro. Sometimes we just not good enough. Like, let's be honest. My candles probably stank. Okay, that's probably why nobody was buying them. The candles probably smelled like trash. Candles probably smelled like who did it and why. Probably wasn't good enough yet. Sometimes we're just not good enough, and that's okay. That's okay, man. This whole thing that we call life, this is an experience, man. That's part of the experience. This experience would suck if you was good at everything. This experience would suck if you never failed. It wouldn't be an experience. It would just be, I win all the time. Boo. Winners don't even want to win all the time. You get tired of winning. It get boring. Losers want to win all the time, and that's why they always losing, because they doing it with the wrong what? Intention, the wrong inner man. Come on, man. Listen, but who knows, man? Maybe some things didn't work out because you asking life for what you want and life trying to give you what you need. That happened to me a couple times. It's like, yeah, but I want this. And it's like, nah, but you need this. You need this to build your character. You need this to stay out of trouble. You need this. Sometimes what we think we want is not really what we want. And then you fast forward a couple years, you're like, man, I'm so glad I didn't go to such and such house whenever. I'm so glad I didn't get into such and such college. I'm so glad I didn't. That's the experience, baby. That's the experience. That's the process. But I'll be honest, I do wish it came with less emotional damage. For sure. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Keep on pushing. Keep on enjoying this experience that we on, baby. Peace.